So this is what we've been waiting for. Finally getting a negative result, which I've been waiting for what feels like forever. Having COVID and that is a pretty big bummer, especially when you want to be as busy as I do, when you have no choice but to take a seat and do nothing, which is infuriating. And, you know, in any other circumstance, I would be panicking and worrying about money situations and all the rest of it. But the thing is that you just have to learn and live with the cards that you're dealt. And unfortunately, I was dealt a pretty crappy one. When I made that video with the Drift League and that, obviously I was very precautious with the whole event. I knew it was going to be somewhat small. Didn't realize it was going to be as small as it was, but still took the precautions, still wore a mask everywhere. Anytime that I wasn't wearing a mask, it was in good way of away from everyone. So anyway, long story short, finally we are back and actually able to make some sort of progress anywhere, because it's safe to say that we're long overdue some. So with the fact that obviously being in COVID and having COVID for the last week, I've obviously had time to think, and with what we're doing and how we're going to be doing things, unfortunately it's going to be just a wee bit longer than I had originally anticipated. We're not going to sugarcoat it or anything like that. That is just the way it is. Unfortunately, with the engine that I've decided to go with and the gearbox that I'm deciding to go with, it's not a combo that is a standard thing in a BMW, because the engine was never an optional extra in the chassis. So unfortunately, it's just buying the additional extras to make the engine work in the chassis. Like, for example, the adapter plate that has to go from the gearbox to the engine to make them both bolt together. The bolt pattern on the gearbox is different from the engine, so I need something to make them bolt together. On top of that, clutch, flywheel, pressure plate, release bearing, and an oil pan that actually clears the power steering rack, because I know that the swap, the engine won't accept the swap with the sump that's on it. So obviously a sump, the right things to go with it, as well as gearbox mounts, it comes with engine mounts, yada yada yada. There's a lot of things that have to go along with the car and a lot of expensive parts. But as of Monday, everything changes when it comes to my employment situation, which is a huge bonus. It's definitely a step in the right direction. So we're going to focus on the good times and we're going to just keep moving forward. So anyway, with the plan for the BMW now, in the more aspect of long term, like a lot of things, I feel like COVID's kind of opened my eyes to make things I have to just make it happen. I can't just dilly-dally and think about it too much and dwell on it before the opportunity passes. So my plan now is we're gonna be making some swift moves. One, with the Peugeot, because that thing needs to get done, and two, with the MR2, because that needs to get sold. Round 3 of the Scottish Drift Championship is in October, which is around about 3 months away. We've said that things just kind of come up really quickly on this channel, and it's safe to say it's because I lack the propel to kind of make a regular habit of going down to the garage after I've finished work, and that's always been a problem with me. Mindset now, we're fully on work mode and we're going to be making changes for the better because we're overdue them. So anyway, with the fact that obviously the drifting isn't going to be happening for another 3 months, we've got a lot of planning ahead. Obviously, I've got most of it planned out, but at the end of the day, there is still plenty. We need to do everything that's on this list and more. All the things with the Felicia and getting rid of that, finishing up the Peugeot, which I haven't really done the lineup, so, you know, not really mentioned much about that because I just need to get that done, and I know that. So I have a very quick shop to do before I come home and go to bed, go to work. Till tomorrow. Hello again, guys. It's been a wee while since I did those recordings, and it's one because I was trying to focus on my work life, because realistically that is kind of priority at the moment, especially with the fact that I'm treating it now as if I'm going to be there for the longest time. And sure, I tried my hardest in the first 13 weeks, granted, with what I was doing and the amount of labor that it took for me to really go through with it, because holy hell, there was some days, man, that were just rough. Anyway, long story short, I've been really so focused on work to the point that I've needed to make a drastic change in my life, mainly because I'm now pretty much set up for next year for the whole season. Whether that be with my work or whether it be with my valeting, with my fabrication, everything is slowly going to come into fruition. And by next year, I know for a fact that I'm going to be pretty much on the level where I need to be. Granted, we'll probably be there a wee bit sooner than that because it is only halfway through the year. But thing is that progression is everything. And by the end of the year, I will be officially set up because of this amazing news from work, which is incredible. So officially, I started work on Monday morning, fully employed by the company that I'm working for. With that being said, I am now being paid what I'm due, essentially, which is substantially more than I was on working through the agency. So I had to go through those 13 weeks to show that I was, one, willing, and two, they have to do it because of precaution, high turnover. They don't want that, so they hire agency people instead. Whether they enjoy it or not, that's up to them. Anyway, so with this situation, we are now officially sorted for the foreseeable future. With everything, from welding, valeting, all the work that needs to get done on the cars, everything. Regardless whether I go into self-employment on my own or whether I am fully employed by this company, regardless, I am sorted. I'm going to be having these drastic changes in my life, and they're all going to be for the better. And I've been waiting for this moment for what feels like a lifetime, to be honest. And it's only just going to be good news from here. The thing is, with how everything is going to go, we don't want to push our luck too quickly. So I'm going to try and do the third round of the Scottish Championship. If I don't end up making it, I'm not going to be so distraught to the point that, you know, I'm just not. It's not really worth it. At the end of the day, the E46 is going to be a build that not a lot of people have seen before. It's a reliable, guaranteed reliable setup, and that's essentially all I'm going for. It's a naturally aspirated engine. I'm not going to have any sort of issues with it, but come further down the line, maybe get a turbo for it or a supercharger and go the distance and look for the push of 500 to 600 horsepower with that engine. So that's pretty much the plan with the BMW. For the rest of the time, we've got a lot of things coming up. I've got the Vintage Car Rally tomorrow in Tain, where my dad is he's in the Vintage Car Rally. He's one of the cars that's going to be parked up. He's got a Porsche Boxster S. I think it's either a 25-year anniversary or it's a 50-year anniversary. Regardless, it's about a 3.2 litre rather than the 2.8. It's got Porsche 911 wheels, little additional extras that you'd normally see on a Porsche 911. Anyway, so we've got that tomorrow. I've also got a meet in Aberdeen that I'm hoping that I can get to. Thing is that I'm working at either 10 or 11 o'clock, so I'm going to be bartending, so unfortunately I might miss that, but if we do end up going, it's going to be a great time, and sure as hell it's going to be in this video. So anyway, I just wanted to share my incredible news, because as I've said before, I'm blunt, I'm honest on this channel, and it's been really rough. And the end of the day, it's my YouTube channel, and I'm incredibly ecstatic with the life change that I'm going to be going through. One, with work, and two, everything that benefits from work. So there's going to be so much coming, maybe next month, maybe the month after that, but either way, I'm actually thinking that the month after that, I'm thinking that we can buy all the parts. Maybe. I'm not gonna, maybe. Who knows? I just know that we're gonna be in a much more better position. And it's gonna be such a good time. Granted, COVID was a bit of an ass, and I feel like it's done more in the long term than anything else. Anyway, we're gonna leave it here, and hopefully see you tomorrow. I say hopefully, guaranteed. Vintage car rally tomorrow. And there also might be a wee surprise as well. I'm gonna find out later on today, but I might not necessarily be driving the Corsa B. We'll see. Anyway, I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. And here's to a good time, Here's to good futures. That washing machine's gonna go mad in a second right now. Here's to good times ahead. Alright, chin chin. Like, comment, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. You're gonna wanna, because there's gonna be a lot coming up. Anyway, have a good one, guys. See you later.